see. Let's make sure these are comfy. Like you
like
can
you
roll
have
it in and out. It's just pull it in.
Knock him out the box, Rick. Knock him out, Rick. Knock him out the box.
Cheers.
Cheers, man. Thank you for coming. I'm really enjoying getting to know you. I feel like I've known you for years, even though it's been months. Right? Because we just start talking about whatever.
I know.
We go deep quick.
I told Lisa that for real.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to just
When are we
have
gonna
you
drink?
tell. Oh, we're drinking now. It's actually the perfect time to drink, Nico, because let's take it all the way back. Who was Nico as a child? What was Nico's childhood like? What were your struggles? How did you become essentially the Nico that we see before us today?
Well,
And tell us who you are first, if you could. Like, what's your elevator pitch, and then go back.
I don't have an elevator pitch. I'm Nico. You know, I like nice things in life. I believe people should treat each other the way that they want to be treated, and then some.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not just because not everybody needs to be treated great,
Right.
but I feel that people need to treat each other with kindness and with patience, and, you know, more so in the way the world is now, is that, you know, there people do a lot of judging, and you know, I just feel right now, you know, but if I were to give an elevator pitch, that's the way. You know, I had some great mentors in life. I got a, you know, when I was 10, I used to walk around with a lawnmower and a bucket, and I used to mow lawns and wash cars, or wash cars and mow lawns, whatever got, you know, whatever, you know, my family didn't have a ton of money at all, and if I wanted to do fun stuff with the neighborhood kids, I had to come up with $5, you know. And that, you know, now it's $30 for, you know,
Right.
to go to a movie, but whatever it was, you know, I had to come up with it. So I you know, I'd help with paper routes, whatever. But when I was 12, my sister went and got a job interview at a restaurant, a little sandwich shop called Mr. Philly's, and she was watching me, so I went with her. I sat in the lobby, and the owner was, so the guy was a pro surfer, and he married into this lady who had a lot of money. Her dad had a lot of money, so the dad was this dentist, and he's like, "Hey, your son's a loser surfer. He's going to open up a sandwich shop. He needs to have a job." And he went around, and anyone who showed up, he said, anyone who showed up here today, you're hired. So they started handing out applications, and I looked at my sister and I said, "Should I take one of these?" And she was like, "Yeah, go ahead." And when he came around, he's like, "How old are you?" I go, "I'm almost 13. He's like, "Wait, hey, if you can get a work permit from school, you know, we'll give you a job." So I did, and it allowed me to work 1 day a week, like 4 to 5 hours a day. By the time I was 14, I was a manager of the place.
Wow.
You know, like a little junior manager,
Yeah.
you know, supervisor.
Yeah, that was your start, because
That's my start.
you're in restaurant operations.
I am. So then I moved into my neighbor opened up a sandwich shop, and I ended up, you know, being a part of that sandwich shop. And actually, small world, I haven't seen him in 25 years, and he's coming today. So that's going to be a reunion. That's just a flashback.
That's amazing. All right,
But
cool.
so then I jumped into a full service restaurant. I bartended there when I was 21, worked my way up to a regional director, you know, 12 years later.
Yeah.
Overseeing, you know, I opened over 50 restaurants with him, lived in London, lived in Puerto Rico, got to live all over the U.S., got to experience some things. Then I went into fine dining. Then I went into being a partner with a restaurant in Vegas. I'm snapshotting it. And then, you know, 8 years ago, almost, I took a position with the restaurant I'm with now, and worked my way up to an equity regional partner. So that's what I do at this current time.
So when did you know, that this was like your future? Did you know right away? Like, did you fall in love with the restaurant business
No,
at 12, or you just let
I'm still not in love with it.
Really?
So again, you know, I'm a flip sided. I love people,
yes,
but I also hate people.
Yeah.
And that's weird to say, but you know, I
think that's probably true for
yeah,
most people. Like, not that they hate them, but We get annoyed.
There's some people out there
You
that
actually,
I'm like,
yeah,
I'm not a racist man in general. I hate everyone equally.
right.
And what I mean by that is, people that have bad intentions or integrity is not there, or they're dishonest, or they cheat on their spouse, or they, just stuff that to me is not in my line of, because I feel I
Not in
live
line with your character.
right, and I feel I try to be a better guy every day, so people that aren't, you don't have to be me, and I'm not perfect by any means. I'm learning, but it's. I just feel that the people in the world today, and not today, it's always been, it's become more apparent.
Yeah. It's more obvious. It's in our face every day.
Yeah.
Social media. We were just talking about you. I don't know if you saw it on the live, but we were doing a podcast with John Booker, and his whole message, the reason he wanted to come back on was he's just had so many bad experiences as a bodyguard working for celebrities and other people that he just had to say, like, people just need to treat each other better. And we talked about you and your management style. Like, I was quoting your story, that you manage you have like 1,500 people under you, and you touch every single one every month, once a month, which is, I actually did the numbers on that, and I'm like, that's 50 people a day, every day. It's a lot of fucking contact. That's a full-time job.
Yeah,
but because you treat people right, and you listen to them, and you empathize, and you try to understand, and that's what makes a good leader. But that's a lot of work.
Well,
so they take the shortcut.
It's not
and they
work.
Treat people like shit.
It's not work when it actually means something to you. So for example, if I have 200 people, 100 to 150 people in the biggest restaurant that I run, if I walk in that restaurant, I'm 100%, I'm going up to you, looking you in your eyes, shaking your hand, asking you how you're doing. So these touch points might last 3 minutes, and then people who I can see in their eyes that something, or they answer, I'm okay. Then it's a longer conversation. But the point is, you try to teach that. You try to teach that when you go into any job, doesn't have to be a restaurant, doesn't have to be Barrett's, it doesn't have to, whatever it is, when you go into any job or any situation, if you just walk up to someone and go, hey, high five, beat it, that's not, but if you look at someone in the eyes and you show that you care, you get someone who will produce results for you in any which way in life.
Dude, that is such a powerful message. Delicious. I really salute, man. Cheers, man. That's beautiful. No, really, that might be the message of the interview, maybe, because I really do pride myself, and I think, like, maybe because we were always on the come up in life, we understand, we appreciate, and a lot of people don't stop to try to understand people. They just think that they're beneath them, or they're not important. They don't talk to the cleaning crew. They don't talk, and that always bothered me, to be honest. And that is getting worse. Everyone's like trying to be, their own brand, and trying to figure out how to become a billionaire. Everyone's like talking this way versus just figuring out who you are and connecting with people the right way.
But that's a good point. And I've used that in my own life is because I wasn't always I called it a good leader. I won't even say a great leader.
Yeah.
I used to run some top restaurants, and I ran them in fear. People, if I walked in, all of a sudden it was like, whoop, it. And I had a mentor say to me one day, what if you got those people to produce the same exact results, but they actually wanted to produce them, not did them out of fear? And then my father died a few years later. And when my father died, he was branded. He was branded an amazing man, a Marine, a guy who fought for his country, who did this. And so that's a good point that you just said, is how do you want to be branded in life? Some people are branded materialistic and all they care about is money, but that's not really them. That's just an insecurity.
Right.
The branding, how I want to be branded, how do you want to be remembered, right? So 20 years ago, if I were to die and my employees went to my funeral, they would have said, yeah, that guy got good numbers, but he was a dick.
Right.
I don't think
Yeah.
they'd say that now.
Right. That's fucking amazing, dude. First of all, thank you for admitting that, because that's what's helpful is someone out, because we can change. I feel I wasn't always the best leader either because of insecurity. Like coming up, you're insecure about your own abilities, so you feel you have to keep people in check. But once you realize none of us know what we're doing anyway, and we're all just people, and that you do have something to offer, we hopefully like realize that. Sometimes it takes a mentor or someone to teach us that.
Life
But it's the
experience.
better way. That's the key. It's actually better for people to adopt that. They're going to get better results in the long run. They're going to have more support. They're going to have people they can count on, because people feel that. If they feel you're just managing them in fear, they might do it. But as soon as they don't have to do it anymore, as soon as you don't have that leverage,
Well, as soon as
they're
you
out.
walk out of the building,
Right.
they're, all of
Fuck
a sudden
him.
it's, okay,
Fuck
yeah,
that guy.
100%.
Right. That was always my style. And I had people even tell me, like, you shouldn't be so friendly with your employees. And probably earlier in my career, I probably didn't understand how to balance that, because you also have to tell them, hey, I need you to do this. I need you, you know what I mean? But you could totally do it. You can always respect those lines and just treat people kindly and with respect. They're a human being. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Family first, all that stuff. And it comes back to you. It may not come back to you right away, but it'll come back to you in the long run.
Agreed.
Yeah. So we're at Barrett Automotive Group with Nico Solomon. We might have to put this right in the beginning. Just because people are coming in now, we should probably explain what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
And we're doing a live podcast here. I don't think we did our IG live, but that's okay. We'll just post this. So people are walking around. People are coming in. There's a car show. There's tacos.
Cigars, whiskey.
Yeah, we hang out here
The
sometimes.
lounge is open
Right.
upstairs for the public today. I have a locker up there, and I store my '63 Caddie here. So this is I think, I've been to other lounges that or other car places that are a little bit more luxurious than this. This one has not only it's beautiful. They have a detail center. They have they can change your oil. They can, just on that rack, they can store 30 cars. And the best part about it, the reason why I love being here, is the people. And I mean, that's kind of what we're talking about today,
Yeah.
anyways. The people that work here, from the owner, Kevin, to Thomas, Luke, and Amias, all four of those guys are the reason I'm proud to keep my car here and wear their hat.
Agreed.
And Kevin needs to give me a jacket now, too.
Exactly. Just for this spot alone, man.
Yeah.
It's worth at least a jacket.
Yeah.
No, it's a great place. I've been here like half a dozen times now. We've done events here. The lounge upstairs is sick, right? Hang out.
is,
It's a man and woman cave, right? And it's becoming more of an event spot.
Yeah.
So Moore Park, don't forget, Barrett Auto Group in Moore Park, because there's another one.
There's one in Agura,
Yeah.
owned by Barrett as well, Kevin. But this one's bigger. This one's got a better lounge.
Yeah, the
The other
lounge.
one's great,
Yeah.
but my car's here, so this one's better.
Right. And it does have the nicer lounge, let's be honest. So let me ask you this, man, like how you became this person like that you are today, which is interesting because like most people, even though we're older, we still always are changing, man. Even the last, for me, like year, 2 years.
From yesterday.
We're evolving. Yeah, yesterday. As soon as
From
you
a
think you have it figured
conversation
out.
with you, my
Really?
mind thinks differently. Oh yeah.
Wow. I don't even, we don't realize that.
We don't,
Same for
but-
me too, man, because I do listen. And when you said that story about touching each of those people, I was like, man, and that is how I like to manage. But now I'm like, oh, I'm busy. I can't get back to you. I'll call you in a couple days. But I do
it's
understand how important
It's
that is.
managing your time, right?
Yeah, right,
What is important to you?
right.
So for me, you have to set aside the distractions and figure out what is important to you, what makes you happy. And I can honestly say most people don't know what truly makes them happy. They think a Lamborghini might make them happy. Happy is a feeling, but
Right.
it's an emotional state. But being honestly at peace with yourself and, waking up and going to bed and living your life, I'm not 100% there.
Right. Same.
There's no way. I'm not my best part of my life is my wife, and she's the one who probably is my biggest mentor and has changed me daily.
We're back, and we're back.
Big Rick.
Where were we, man? Shit.
Who knows?
I have some questions though,
What are your questions?
because we have 10 minutes to wrap up. Then Barrett Auto Group is gonna pop off with their Cars and Coffee event, and they've graciously allowed us to shoot this before the event. So I'm just curious, like, okay, you're a successful, you're a successful person, I would say, right? I know we have improvements to make, but you got your shit together. Do you think, like, and you have gratitude, you appreciate people, the way you treat people. How much do you think that has to do with the come up that you had? Like, because I feel like part of it is like the struggles like we go through. Like you said, you started working at a young age and kind of hustling and having to show up at an early age.
Part of it was what I didn't tell you is the tattoo on my arm from my dad. He was my stepdad, and what I didn't tell you too is that he was married to my mom for 25 years, and he raised me since I was 3. But my mom and him did not have a good relationship, and they did not treat each other right. And at a young age, I learned that what not to do. I don't know if that makes sense, but
Of course it does.
at a young age, you end up learning that you shouldn't treat someone like that.
Right. I think that's such an important point because you can't control the environment that you're born into as a baby, right? It's not your choice to be born into that circumstance, but you can decide, I'm going to follow that advice. And then that if you're smart enough to realize it's not the best way to do it, you can adopt a different way. The problem is a lot of people think that's how you have to be.
Well,
I learned the wrong thing from my parents too, man, growing up.
You watch all these kids grow up without dads or without a good environment or without, proper mentorship or whatever, and they're in prison or they do bad things. I was blessed with a brain that allowed me to know the difference from right and wrong at a young age. And I did plenty of wrong.
On purpose, though.
Yeah. Thinking,
experiment.
Yeah,
it doesn't make you a bad person.
Age, I did wrong. I did wrong things. Everyone does.
Right.
But I knew at a young age I knew the difference. Young, I knew the difference.
Why do you think you knew that? Did somebody instill that, or you just were clever?
I think my stepdad, even though they didn't get along, I call him my dad.
Yeah.
I call him Pops. It says Johnny Pap on my arm. But I think there's two things. One, he and my mother loved each other very much. A year after they got divorced, he passed. And I think it was out of loneliness and out of depression, they think he had a heart attack. I'm the one who found him in his, in his apartment.
Wow.
And to be honest, it's the best closure I've ever had. I spent 11 hours with him while he laid in bed till the coroner got there.
Wow.
And, with police coming in and out and this going out. But it was, most people would think that damages you. It didn't damage me. It gave me more clarity and more how do I want to live and more how do I want to treat people and more, just more out of life. And so.
That's beautiful, man. That is beautiful. I'm
right?
I'm afraid to like share, like when my mom passed away suddenly and we went to the hospital like 2 a.m. and they let me be in the room with her alone. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know if I was going to be freaked out. But I just kept saying, I love you. And I never really told her she was alive. That's what's crazy.
Yeah, it's good to be vulnerable. I love it.
I was a different
You're a good
person, man.
dude.
Thank you.
Well, when my dad was...
That's why I appreciate my kids. I would have never told my kids I love you so much if my mom hadn't died so young.
Here's weird, too.
It taught me like, oh, shit. Don't wait.
When my dad was laying there in his bed, I was going crazy. I went through all his stuff. I found out, I went through his cabinets. I found diabetes pills. I never knew he had diabetes. The guy was a closed book.
Right.
Except we knew we loved each other and he was my best friend. I found, I was opening his eyelids. I mean, I've never told anyone that. I was like, wake up. I'm like, I was trying to put energy on him. I was doing weird stuff. Like you're with someone for
It's like instinctual, man. Yeah.
I'm like, have you ever seen The Green Mile?
Yeah.
I almost tried to breathe air into him. Like,
Right. No, it's like animals.
But, I
That's
mean,
what animals do.
You don't think. I didn't. I wasn't like who's judging me.
Right.
I was
You didn't
just
give a
that
fuck.
was as raw as I could have been. And the sad thing about that is that it was the best closure I ever had, because I literally sat with him for an hour. Then I went through his stuff. Then I sat with him for an hour. Then I went through his stuff. Then the police were there. Then, I set up his funeral. I did his eulogy. I mean, I did, and my family didn't have the money to pay for his funeral, and I was doing okay at the time, and I took care of that. And at the end of the day, for me, now I look at death in a different way too. He was at peace from what it looked like.
Yeah. You saw that firsthand.
I saw it.
I know, man. That's a crazy. It was a crazy experience to be alone with her.
And he wasn't there.
Yeah. Right.
It was a shell.
Yeah.
So even though I saw this man that raised me,
Yeah.
I'm like,
same, man. It was closure for me because I knew, okay, this isn't her. It didn't even look like it looked like her, but not.
I thought he was going to jump up and say April Fools.
Really?
Like, come on. I slapped him a couple times.
Yeah.
Opened his eye. I mean,
Yeah.
I was, and it's not that I'm ever ashamed to talk about it. I just never do.
Yeah.
Lisa, my wife, knows.
Yeah.
I tell her everything, but again, it falls under that branding of what you want to be, who you want to be, and
well, it's important that you share because people shouldn't judge themselves no matter what process they have to go through. We are animals, man. And when something final like that happens to someone that's such a big part of your life, like that's what you do. It's interesting. We don't know what we're going to do until it happens. I didn't know how I would react. Nobody does.
Can I ask you if it's weird that as deep as we're talking right now, in my brain, this is where my brain works.
Tell me,
this will give everyone a little sense of my brain. These wheels would look really good on my BMW.
You compartmentalize. Yeah, you're able to have a deep, tearful conversation. Right.
And, at the same time, I'm like,
but these
those would look really good on my BMW.
Isn't this a great table idea?
It's phenomenal.
I love this,
I have a buddy who flies airplanes, and he has an airplane hangar at Whiteman Airport.
Yeah.
He has a 747 polished wheel with a glass table on top of it, with beautiful leather chairs from a G8.
Yeah, yeah.
Or actually G5 back then.
That's the way to do it, man. So I love that you were able to be really good friends with your dad, right? Even though they didn't get along. Like instead of judging somebody for a failed relationship.
When they split up, he came and stayed with me for a year. And my mom's like, how could you? I'm like, you married him.
Right. It's not your fault that you're friends with him and that you like each other.
So
right.
Don't judge me. I'm not going to put my dad out on the street.
Smart.
And so he lived with me for a year.
Smart.
At the time, my girlfriend was not Lisa.
Yeah.
But my dad would walk around in his underwear. She's like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Like, live with it.
Yeah. Get used to it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. What was one last question? What was your biggest struggle that you had to overcome, to get to the place you are in life now as a child?
Honestly, I think I had to get over myself. So my family, and this is another conversation, but my mom's side suffers from a lot of depression, and it is in my life. I had to learn how to overcome depression without taking pills, without taking medicine, with the use of meditation, with the use of treating people well. I find
talk about that
spending
shit.
money helps.
No, but whether you're clinically depressed or not, we all are struggling with, are we good enough? Is this going to be good enough? You know, am I
Gotta get
doing
over
what I
yourself.
should? Yeah, got to get over yourself. How, dude? So what? It's just all of those things.
You know, I did it at a young age also. It's like I spent a lot of time with myself battling my own demons, and I won. And
How? Tell us, like, how did you win?
meditation,
Yeah.
self-meditation, being alone, listening to. Here's what I do know. This is what I can tell you. Every person is different. So what works for me might work for you, but if it doesn't, change your plan.
Try something else.
Listen, I know this. I tell my team this all the time. I tell my upper team, you know, we got to make a plan. We got to make a plan for sales. We got to make a plan for the P&L. We got to make a plan for EBITDA. We got to make a plan for culture. Let's make that plan. Awesome. We made that plan. Did it work? No. Why? The plan was no good. Hold on. There's only two reasons a plan doesn't work. You didn't follow it, or it's a bad plan. So that's what you have to find out. And that's the same thing with depression.
Yeah.
Same thing with, so for me, I like being around good people. That helps. I found myself when I go on vacation with another couple and we had the best time in the Bahamas, on the plane back, I'd start having anxiety. Like, it's over? What? So that was something, you know, that's just one of the pieces, but severe depression is debilitating.
Yes.
And
pay attention to yourself. I know that's a big part. And like you said, it's not one thing. Everyone's different. The key is don't give up. Keep trying different ideas, right? But it is a lot of factors. It's like listening to yourself, stopping to go, what is wrong with me? You know, listening to good books, being around good people, exercising.
yeah,
Get in the gym yet?
I got to actually, yeah. I've been,
All right.
What do you mean?
Because I just started, man. I'm starting
mean?
back. Let's do it. Let's motivate each other.
Hey, Robert. All right, man.
We're wrapping up. Nico,
Yeah.
this was awesome, man. Hey, honestly, I don't know. I'm comfortable with people all around while we're doing
me
it.
too, but I'm
good.
good.
Are you?
I'm going to get up. And
Yeah, no, this is perfect. 11
we need to
o'clock.
get another bottle of scotch.
Exactly.
We need a cigar. Let's go have some fun.
Let's go have some fun, man.
All right, my man. Love you,
We'll do
brother.
this again. Love you too, man. Thank you. This was great. Not what we expected. It never is. Nico motherfucking Solomon in the house. Let's go.
Knock him out the box, Rick. Knock him out, Rick. Knock him out the box.